Here's our first little problem of the day. The owner sent some cam bearings down here, and he sent the PDP-17T, which is a coated bearing, which is supposed to be mo better. And I get all of that, and I understand, but the problem is, I guess, they take the regular, PDP-17, and then they coat it. Well, it's hard enough to get the cam in one of these when it's uncoated, and I think they're probably just putting this coating on the bearing, and if you put a couple of tenths on this side and a couple of tenths on this side, guess what? The cam wouldn't go in at all, wouldn't even think about it, wouldn't even dream about it. So I couldn't even stick the number 1 journal of the cam into the number 1 bearing backwards. I just couldn't do it. So knocked all of those out, knocked in a set of the new ones, and I think the cam's going to turn good, judging from the first one. If the first one goes through this easy, that makes me think that the whole thing's going to work. But I'll give that a try, and then, now of course you're going to shave, you're going to shave metal. You can tell the shaving marks off on this when you drive a cam bearing in it. It just shaves, peels a little off, and that's fine and dandy, except, that's going right down in your oil passages, obviously. So, and this is how it's supposed to turn. Now we can take it outside and clean it all up again. Okay, we took it outside and we cleaned it back up again after changing the cam bearings, and the cam still turns wonderfully. So that all went good. So now we're going to get ready to put the crank in. I put in the main bearings, and Bass Fish said to check that seal and see how it fits with the groove, and it fits real good. So next we'll put the seal on the crank and drop the crank in. Okay, these Fast Fish instructions say cut the seal perfectly straight at the dot with a sharp razor knife, and then we put it on the crank and drop the crank in. And of course this is marked flywheel side, so you know which way it goes. It's actually got double seal, but we're going to put it in the right way. And tells you what to lubricate and what, put a little RTV when you put it together. And then when you put it together, you put the brake down here. The cut goes in the block instead of in the retainer. But we'll see if we can get all that done. And I've told you this before, but the reason I use this Fast Fish seal is because I saw a guy put one in backwards one time and it still didn't leak. So that sounds like the perfect thing for me, where something I can't mess up. And really, if you're buying the retainer with the seal, like I bought everybody else's, and the Fast Fish is cheaper than the other people if you're buying it with the retainer, so hey, I think it's great. So now we'll discuss how to do things the wrong way. You're supposed to do everything in order. First things first, then the second thing, then the third thing. If you get out of order, you can have problems. So yesterday the owner was here, and you're all excited about final assembly. We've been working on this thing for at least 4 months. It may have been 5. And so now we're finally going together. We get all excited and we put the crank in and everything. When you do that, See, now you can't get your normal wrench in here to tighten this plug. When you start your final assembly, very first thing is the plugs, the external plugs in the block. And there's a few reasons for that. One is so you don't have this problem where you can't get your tool on it. Number two is you can forget people have forgot that plug before. That's why you do it first. People have forgot that plug before. That's why you do the plugs first. You don't have to start with the sexy stuff. Now, about half or more of the engines that come in here that have been rebuilt, they've got sealant on these plugs. Why would they have sealant on these plugs? I mean, first of all, you risk getting sealant into your oil system. Secondly, it serves no purpose. If either one of these leaks a drop of oil, guess where it's going? It's going to go into the oil pan. I don't think it's going to hurt anything there. Don't do that. Put them in, and I do use a little oil on the threads just to help tighten them up. And now I'll have to tighten this one with a normal Allen wrench, but at least I can get in there. But do everything in the right order. And another reason to do these plugs first, I don't know if I ever told this story, but a friend of mine built a 440 and put it in his car and everything. He didn't put these plugs in first. And at some time in one of the rear plugs, a mud dauber got in there and filled it up solid. And no oil went to his oil pressure gauge when he started it up. The engine's already in the car at this point. Now think about that for a minute. No. Do things in the right order. Don't use sealant on these plugs. Number one, do these plugs. Number two, put in the cam so you can reach in there and support it while you're putting it in there. Make sure that it turns smooth, but you know it already did because you did this before you took it outside to wash it. Now that we've got those plugs in, just for fun, we can tap the crank and make sure we have a little thrust. We're not measuring it right now. We're just going to look down here between the thrust face of the bearing and of the crank and just make sure that we're seeing something happen there. It's very little, but that's okay. We'll measure it when we get the crank torque down and everything. I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, why won't the cap go on? Well, there's a reason. These holes are drilled and then they're tapped. And so in the bottom of the hole it looks like a drill bit. So 50 years ago, when you would get your studs from Keith Black, they've got this bullet on the end of them. That way you can tighten the stud up. Obviously, if you're drag racing and you're between rounds and you've got an hour to get back to the line, you can't put up with studs coming out and coming loose and all of that. So you've got these in the block and they're torqued in. But if you try to tighten an ARP up in the block, I mean, it's just flat on the end. And so when it runs out of threads in the bottom, it shifts slightly. That's why that cap won't go on. So I guess that's why ARP tells you to put them in finger tight, because then they won't shift when you run out of threads. Now, me personally, I prefer the bullet on the bottom and the studs in tight. When you take this apart, some studs will come out, some studs won't come out, whatever. But that's why your cap won't go on. I guess I should say something now before you think I'm totally crazy. Normally these main caps are numbered that direction, and then there'll be a little arrow pointing to the front, so you can trying to protect you from doing this wrong. But this is getting a little wacko. Remember, Cummins, they didn't have a real good reputation. But so here's number 2. Now this is the Tang side, I want you to know, but the numbers on 2 and 4 are pointing this direction. And really it is on 5 too, but then he sobered up and he'd come back here and stamped another 5 going that direction. So when this gets together, you're going to think that this cap and this cap are on here backwards. But in reality, that's really the Tang side, and this is really the Tang side, and it's really on their right, even though the 2 and the 2 and the 2 are pointing that direction, as the 4 is. I mean, the 3 is even worse. It's marked 3 this way and 3 this way, but at least it's got an arrow. That arrow's right. So when this thing is together, don't think the caps are on backwards. I just wanted to tell you now before you freak out. Okay, I've got the caps on. Now I'm going to go wash the nuts and the washers in bar sol and then dry them off. ARP wants the washer, the back side of the washer on the dry, and then they want the lube on the threads and the top of the washer so the washer doesn't try to spin, hoping there's more drag coefficient down here, I guess. So I'll get them all cleaned up. Okay, I'll get all of this ARP lube on here, and then they want them torqued to 110 and 45 on the side bolts, and then put the nuts on with the ARP up, and I guess torque that in 3 steps, so I guess that'll be, say, 40, 80, and 110. I'll get this all torqued up. Don't forget to wipe the excess ARP lube off of these fasteners when you get done, because that's going straight into your oil, and I don't know what ARP lube is, but I don't think it's oil. But I'm set up to check the thrust, and we've got 2 thou. So it's not much, but when you've got that thick assembly lube on the thrust, you know, it's always going to be kind of light. But we've got between 2 and 7 what the book calls for, so we're okay.